Hey guys, today we're in chapter 4 of the book of Ruth. So now we're kind of at the end of this little love story, the story of grace and mercy in the middle of the bad times of the book of Judges, but we still see God moving his hand of grace and mercy. Let's continue the story. Boaz had gone up to the gate, right? This is the court. This is where all the elders sit. This is where the official business happens. He goes up to the gate and he said, behold, there's a guy who is a redeemer of Naomi. I need to find him. And they find him and he says, hey, tells him the story. And the guy says, I will redeem them. I will redeem Ruth and Naomi. And he says, then Boaz said, the day that when you buy the field from the hand of Naomi, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the widow of the dead, in order to perpetuate the name of the dead in the inheritance. And so here he says, okay, when you buy the field, which is kind of like a dowry, it would have happened. It would have been normal when you buy it. Not only do you get Naomi, you get Ruth, this Moabite, right? You get this Moabite, the widow of the dead, in order to perpetuate the name of the dead in the inheritance. Then the Redeemer said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I take my, for I cannot redeem it. You see how many personal pronouns are used there? I, my, right? Basically, he says, the price is too much. I would have redeemed it if I got the land and I got a young woman who could give me children. But I'm getting an old woman and a Moabite. This is too much for me. I don't want to do this. The cost is too great. And so it says, now the custom was in order that he would, to confirm this, he would draw off his sandal and give it to him. We see this in Deuteronomy chapter 25, and it just means he had authority. And so he doesn't do this. And so Boaz, in front of all the elders, says, does everybody see what he's doing? He's giving up on his right. He's not going to do the right thing. He will not be a redeemer. He said, but I will be the redeemer. I will step up and do what is supposed to be done. And I will get all that belonged to Elimelech and belonged to Chilion and Mahlon. Also Ruth the Moabite, the widow of Mahlon, I have brought to be my wife, to perpetuate the name of the dead of inheritance, that the name of the dead may not be cut off from among his brothers. Doing exactly what he said, right? So I'm going to take over the land, take over the house. I'm going to take care of mother-in-law, but I'm also going to take this young Moabite woman, and she will become a part of my family. And all the officials said, we are witnesses. May the Lord make this woman like Rachel and Leah, make her be holy, make her be good, make her have children, right? Open her womb. Remember, there is no kids between her and her husband for 10 years, right? So she was barren. That's what everybody thought, right? But here the townspeople are praying and approving of this Israelite redeeming this Moabite woman. So Boaz took Ruth and she became his wife, and he went into her and the Lord gave her conception. He opened up her womb, right? So they thought she was barren, but it was not. The Lord can do miracles. And she bore a son. Then the woman said to Naomi, blessed be the Lord who has not left you this day without a redeemer, and may his name be renowned in Israel. This redeemer is not referring to Boaz. It's referring to the baby. The baby is her redeemer. This grandma now has this baby boy. And not only is that the heart of every grandmother, but there's more to this baby. This baby will put Ruth in the line of King David, which is in the line of Jesus Christ, the Messiah. So it's because Ruth was saved, she was redeemed, that we get Jesus. He shall be a restorer of life and nourishment to your old age, for your daughter-in-law who loves you, who is more to you than 7 sons. A son has been born to Naomi. They named him Obed, which means servant. That's his baby boy. And he was the father of Jesse, and Jesse was the father of David, King David. So we're only three generations removed from King David. And then you get kind of the history in just a couple of verses. From 18 to 21, it shows us a genealogy from Egypt to the throne of David, right? So summarizes every book before this one, right? In just a couple of verses. What's amazing about the story of Ruth is not that it's just a love story, and it's great. I love the story of Ruth, but it shows us truly the heart of God. That God was there doing his own. We did not deserve God to come to us. We did not deserve God to allow us to glean pieces of grace and mercy in his field. We didn't deserve to be pulled into the goodness of God. We didn't deserve anything. It was all by God's goodness. It was by his mercy. It was by his grace that he would save us. A cursed person, a spiritual Moabite, somebody that does not want the things of God, but yet he still loved us. That God would send his son, Jesus Christ, that he would die on a cross, that he would save all who would believe in him, all who had faith in Jesus, and that he would bring him into his house, and that we would have a bountiful measure of barley, of house, of land, of food. That the Lord provides for us. And so the story of Ruth, though it's a love story, and though it's an easy story for us to get characters and history and just kind of see almost like a little mini movie about, the book of Ruth is exactly what God has done for us. Though we did not deserve it, Jesus Christ died for our sins, saved us out of our curse, and brought us into his home. He is our Redeemer. Hope that makes sense. Hope you enjoyed the book of Ruth, and we will see you tomorrow in the book of 1 Samuel. God bless.